All right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Molly. How are you? How's the left and west and, of course, best coast? Personal opinion. How are you?
I am doing good. How are you? Yeah. Good morning, fellow West Coast veterans, and good afternoon, East Coast. I am Coach Molly. I am a proud wife of a veteran, a Navy veteran, and we are currently stationed in San Diego.
Well, I'm of the same branch, but I'm on the other side, different department, Marine Corps. Thank you. San Diego, love San Diego. I was stationed out there 2000, I think, 11 to 14. So enjoyed it. Anybody, if you are joining us in your Marine Corps, Semper Fi, Navy, hoorah. Spouses, if you're joining us, welcome as well. Everybody has a different view, different perspective, but if you guys are attached to and you're the TO and E of your veteran, thank you for being here. I did 10 years, Marine Corps, got out as a major in 2019, out of the reserves, artillery officer, and currently 100% permanent total. So hopefully we can answer your questions today. And what are we going to be talking about, Molly? I think you might know it. What's the name of it again?
Lifestyle impact. Lifestyle impact claim. We've got some comments already. People shouting out where they're tuning in from, what branch they served in, the years. So definitely let us know where you're tuning in from. Where do you reside right now?
Motivate. I see Rick Dowdy. How we doing? San Diego. Love Army, love Marine Corps. I love all vets. Air Force. My grandfather, 22 years Air Force, Master Sergeant, Vietnam, Navy. Everybody is here. If you guys have questions or comments like you're doing now, you're seeing it pop up on the screen, use that function, type in, give us a shout out if you have questions, kind of like military fashion. I don't know if you know this from presentations in the public sector though, Molly. We say, hey, let's hold all questions till the end. But hey, during this time, if you guys have something that you've got to get off your chest, put it in the comment section. Absolutely. We appreciate you guys. We really do. Absolutely. Anybody out? So I don't live in the States anymore though, Molly. I should tell everybody I live international. I live in Mexico. So I'm taking that other side. If we have anybody joining us from the international community, welcome. Welcome, welcome.
Yeah, I see a lot of Texas. Mm-hmm. Oh, Michigan, go blue. That's where I was born and raised, is Michigan. Nice. A lot of Marines in here, Jeff. A lot of Marines.
Wow. That means that I'm
Navy,
seeing more than Rob Lowery out of OKC. I was a police officer out there in Oklahoma. I saw somebody else out here that asked me a question specifically what artillery unit. I was with 111 on active duty, and then I transitioned to the reserves with Fox Battery 214, ironically there, Rob. That's what I was saying, because they're out of the Oklahoma City area. Yeah, a lot of Marines. I like it.
There you go, man. He's in Oceanside. Pretty close.
Good deal.
It's awesome. Lots of Florida, Utah. We've got all sorts of veterans in here today. I love it. Anyone international? Mexico, but like way not so close.
Overseas. We're talking like really Oconus. If you guys are in like Europe, Philippines, wherever you're at, shout it out. Oceanside.
Yeah.
Oh man. Good memories. I miss Oceanside. I really do. I loved it. Lived it out there really well. Good deal.
There's another Jeff. There's another Marine.
Hey, I'm telling you, we got so many Marines here, man. I'm telling you.
90.
Mm-hmm. We can make a platoon if we need to. Probably, maybe going to a company size, maybe a company minus. I see, who's that? Curry. She's using her husband's page. All right, cool. I like it. Or probably the other way around. Marine. Okay, I see you. Corey, gotcha.
You're in good company.
312. Man, it's artillery day today, boys. Woo-wee.
I know. They knew who was hosting. They're tuning in.
Right. Well, I saw Fred out of Memphis. Love that song. Walking in Memphis.
Yeah, keep shouting out.
Some of you guys have asked. Christopher Zach. Oh, I see you, bud. I see you. All right. I love it. Telling us where you're from. You guys are giving us some questions. I appreciate it. That means that this is going to be an engaging topic. You may have a buy-in to it. You may not. I don't know. I know Molly has a buy-in. I know with me being 100% being permanent and total, I have an absolute buy-in because I am rated for the thing that we're going to talk about today. So, you want to get started, Molly? You want to?
Yeah, let's jump in.
Kick this butt.
I don't know about you, Jeff, but the way that I explain this type of claim, this lifestyle impact claim, when I'm on the phone with my veterans, is examples. It is the easiest way to explain this claim. And it's important to know that it is a secondary claim, so you do need that primary service-connected condition to do the lifestyle impact secondary too. But we'll kind of get into that, and it'll kind of make a lot more sense after we really go through the examples.
Okay. No, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, when I talk with my vets too, being a vet, everybody, when I got off active duty 2013, everybody's probably heard the same stories about the VA, whether good or bad. I'm being very neutral here. For me, from the point of view that I had, hey, go to the VA, get your medical taken care of, good to go. And I did. And I'm glad that I did because I get current medical treatment. But then what I did is I did this exact claim. And it's a secondary condition. We call it a lifestyle impact claim. Okay. Now, what is a lifestyle impact claim? Like what Coach Molly was saying, that, okay, if you have a primary service condition, and we're going to break it down and we're going to go into specific examples that you, the veteran, or veterans' family members, if you're here on behalf of a veteran because the veteran has the humility level and they're like, I don't want to deal with it, I don't want to see it. But if you're here, we appreciate you being here. You're taking that first step and you're going on that path of healing, one, but then also you get the same thing with the VA, you get the healing, but then also that monetary component, right? So if you're not able to work, if you're not able to produce for your family, I know Molly, with your significant other, I know my wife, she sees me and has seen the struggles, and I hope, and I know I will as well, and I can't wait to share the examples between us today, so that we can at least give the vets, hey, you know what? I'm dealing with that. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what branch. It does not matter combat or not. We'll get into this, like, what is it? That's what we're going to get into. So it's a nickname we've created. I don't think we've created a nickname, but we came up with lifestyle impact. Now, what is that? And that's what Molly was saying. Can you explain that one more time? And then I'll get into top down. I'll start at the top and then we'll work our way down the body.
Yeah. We'll play a little head, shoulders, knees, and toes in terms of what kind of primary conditions we're talking about. But yeah, that secondary claim. Yes, you're not going to actually go on to va.gov and submit. The condition is not going to be the lifestyle impact. That's not the condition. You still need that diagnosis. You still need the nexus. You still need the current symptoms. You still need all of that stuff. But yeah, it's just going to be a secondary. You're still going to have that diagnosis. It's just going to be secondary to that primary condition. And and that's where all the examples kind of come from. Is it all stems from that, and then it's how your lifestyle is impacted. And that's exactly where that nickname comes from. It is the lifestyle impact that comes off of that primary condition.
Okay. And I'm really glad that you brought those items up. We're going to start there. I think that's a good place to start. Okay. What Coach Molly stated, hey, you need a current diagnosis. Hey, you need a nexus. Well, if you're a veteran out there or a family member of a veteran, you have no idea what a nexus is. It's a fancy word for connection, right? I'll tell you exactly what that is in a second. And then you have to have that current diagnosis, or the in-service event, excuse me. So here we call that the Kaluza triangle. That's the first and foremost you need. You have a current diagnosis for, let's go with tinnitus. That's a good segue into a primary condition. I'm an artillery officer, was an artillery officer. I am rated in my right ear for, I think, like 20 or 30% hearing loss. I've got 0% in my left ear. That's because I was right-handed shooting rifle. So what I have going on is a constant ringing, buzzing, intermittent, like just out of nowhere. It's a really sharp screech. And it can be that way for 20, 30, sometimes 40 minutes. And then I have kind of like a migraine. I got to go sit down, make a nice hot cup of tea, have the kids be with mom for a minute, and I got to let that pass. Now, why would that cause an issue or a lifestyle impact? Well, here's why. I'm married, and I know if my wife asks me to do something and if I don't hear it the first time, she may like, okay, give me a little bit of grace, right? But the second time, the third time, kind of like with our kids, like there's some irritability there, right? She's getting irritable, you're getting mad because she's getting mad, right? And then like, let's go for some other things. Other things that you deal with the tinnitus, not just the hearing, the buzzing, but let's go when you're sleeping at night, right? I mean, I'm not even getting into the other musculoskeletal issues or even more mental health. Like that's what this lifestyle impact claim is. You're going to have the tinnitus, and then you work with us. If you want to work with us, we're going to put the connection. You can look out for a 30-minute discovery call with one of our representatives to see if the program is right for you. We'll put that on the screen, and you can take a talk with them. If you're just new to us, let them know, hey, I want to information on the program and see if it's right for you with a 30-minute free call. And then we have another one. It's the elite membership. Okay, if you choose to do that, you'll work with one of us, myself or Coach Molly. And what we will do is we'll help. What I tell my vets, I'm an artillery officer. I say I'm going to get you on target or in the area, right, of what we're looking for, because that's where we'll be your advocate. Like we're going to be your best person to talk to come up with that strategy, to figure out that plan to go to the VA instead of being out there like, what do I do? Where do I go? Right. So those are the two things I want to throw out first. But let's get back to the topic. Irritability. Does with your spouse, Molly or Coach Molly, does he have the issues with tinnitus? Does he have issues with hearing loss? And from your perspective, I was speaking on mine. Like I have irritability, the insomnia issues. What about you with regard to him? What's your viewpoint on that? How does it transform into his life?
Yeah, so I have a unique perspective, as the military spouse, as kind of the outside looking in, and the veteran being inside out. So, how it affects him is, his gets set off by noises. And we've got 2 little girls. Our house is never quiet, So we have 2 little ones. So the 11-month-old really likes to tell us what's on her mind in the form of screaming. And sometimes that pitch of her scream sets off his tinnitus. But then what happens is, yes, it drives him nuts. He has a hard time focusing, concentrating. He gets frustrated. But then it leads into a migraine and it puts him out. And then that equally is frustrating. And so those 2 conditions have a lifestyle impact that we're talking about, and sometimes, the veteran community is one of the communities that is the most resilient communities that I've ever worked with. And sometimes with that resilience, the veteran doesn't realize that they're connected, and so I was going to challenge all of you at the end, but heck, let's do it right now. Next time your tinnitus is flared, ask you why, what caused it, and then go a step further and, ask the cheesy question, how does that make you feel? Are you frustrated because you can't hear? Are you frustrated because it's driving you nuts? Why? Find the why, and that's where you're going to find that lifestyle impact.
I agree. And I'm grateful for your perspective, because when you're in the thick of it, you don't get to see everything, right? So it's nice to see the other side and see that totality. I will take a break because I see a couple of questions here, but I want to keep going on that path that you just said too with migraines. That's another one that we can talk about, how the lifestyle impact. And when we say lifestyle impact, we're saying, hey, you got a primary service condition connected to tinnitus, migraines, whatever. Then you do a secondary mental health claim. I'm not a doctor. I know Molly's not a doctor. I would like to be a doctor. I mean, I'm working on it or going back to school for it. But with regard to this, we can't diagnose. We can't make these. These are just assumptions. I know what I have going on in my body. I know Coach Molly has what she's going on in her life, in her area. That's when, if you want to work with us, we'll be your coach, and we'll have that strategy session, and that's what we'll do. You can talk to somebody and help. Hey, you know what? I think I've been dealing with this. I've been dealing with this for a long time, and it is hard to get the veteran to respond. I'll answer these questions here in a minute, but like it took me 3 years. I got 90% service connected in 2014, and it wasn't until 2017 that I said, you know what? Kid's mom is angry at me. Or no, like my family was suffering because my back, I was missing 2 discs, I think. I've got degenerative disc disease at 20% in my lower back, but then just pain, constant pain, radiculopathy, right? Sciatica shooting down my legs. I'm like, this is too much. So I had to take a step back, like what you said, and said, okay, how is my back? Right? I can't play with my kids anymore. And they were young little dudes, and that messes with you. And I'm never going to get that time back because of, the pain. So then you have to take a step back and say, well, what am I going to do? So then I actually did it. I went to my psychiatrist, and I said, hey, this is all the things that are going on with me. And I put in, at the time, I didn't know that it was a lifestyle impact claim, but it was. And I'm glad that I did it because I got 70% for it. And I didn't know. I had no idea. And it was because of that my love grew even more for what we're doing and trying to help veterans. So absolutely love this. I've got somebody here, Jeff Jean. He says, yes, and there is VA Claims Insider. You have the membership. So if you have people that want to work with us, give them the link as well. Jeff, you said if 70% MDD, secondary to tinnitus, can I still try for this? So your mental health, this lifestyle impact claim is going to be a secondary condition for mental health, for which you are already rated. And then this goes into another question somebody else asked a couple of places down. You can only have one. You can have multiple, but you can only have one rated or compensated as well. So hopefully that answers your question. And any specific questions, hey, if you have specific questions about what we're doing here, absolutely. Please put it in there. Let's see, I've got somebody else in here. Mark Nichols, let's put that on there. Having tinnitus, hearing loss, this is common. This is actually a really good question and why I brought it up. You get out of the military, you can go to the VA for anything you need. They may give you hearing aids. I don't know. You have to go through the tests, but they're not going to service connect you. Okay. They're part of the same entity, but they're two different sides of the story. They may or may not talk to each other. So the VHA, the health side, they can give you the diagnosis and the health and the care, but the Veterans Benefit Administration, that's the different side. So for this, what I would recommend to you, Mark, if you're not already a member, take a look, talk to somebody, maybe do the 30-minute free call or sign up for the elite session. It is a tricky thing, especially, it's one of the common things. You get off active duty. I've heard, well, I thought I was going to get this. Well, the VA, you have to go through that process, right? They have a process, and we, as your coaches, will be here with you to help guide you through that and inform and educate so that you, as the veteran, will be able to take responsibility for your claim. Let's go back to migraines, Molly. Think I'm not going to get into the percentage levels, but with that said, how does the migraines, the primary, how does that affect your husband?
Yes, I mean, it really depends. It depends on how bad the migraine is, how long it takes him out of the game for. If he has to take medication, it has to kick in. It depends on a lot of factors, so it can affect him differently if we're home versus if he's at work. There's a lot of things. He still works very much within the military community. So he's still exposed to loud noises and on boats and engines and all that kind of stuff. And so his tinnitus gets flared a lot. And, if he's at work, the occupational portion of it is important to touch on as well. The occupational and the social, examples and symptoms that come, because it does look different. A migraine at work is going to look and feel a lot different than if you're at home and you can lay down. You don't always have that option to just peace out and and head home if you have a head splitting migraine, and so that can cause a lot of frustration. And I was going to kind of go into the head, shoulders. So now we're at shoulders. Now we're kind of migraines, tinnitus, TBI, all of that. So like the shoulders. So, do you have to lift things up? Do you have a shoulder injury, cervical spine? We're starting to get into the very orthopedic conditions that can be primary too here. At work, do you have to lift things? Pick things up and put them down. If you can't do that, or if you can't do that pain-free, that's probably going to be very frustrating for you and possibly for your coworkers. You're going to feel like you literally can't pull your weight, And so how is that affecting you emotionally? Not only the lifestyle, the lifestyle impact is how it is affecting you emotionally. Frustration, do you get anxious? Like, oh my gosh, I have this, and this to do at work, but I'm having a really tough day with my cervical spine, like my cervical strain today. Am I going to be able to do this? If that causes, anxiousness, or if you have a hard time just getting out of bed, knowing that you're going to have trouble at work, and that kind of causes, the self-isolation and the depression and those kind of feelings as well. We are at the end of the day, lifestyle impact is a high value secondary mental health claim. And so
Boom.
it really is the touchy-feely. How does that make you feel? That is super, super important when you're going through these examples. How does your physical pain affect your mental? That mind-body connection is really what we're talking about here.
No, I agree with you. And I wanted to clarify again, and you just clarified it for me. So thank you for doing that. Larry Andrews says, I'm rated for combat PTSD. Is there any doubt life impact is secondary to PTSD? Your PTSD is already rated at the 70% rating. When we say lifestyle impact, we're saying, okay, I'm Jeff and I've got my back issues, right? I've got, I think it's IVDS and degenerative disease. I don't know. I haven't looked at my e-benefits in a while, and I haven't been to the doctor in about a month. But the point is, I've got a 20% rating. That 20% rating developed into the sciatica radiculopathy neuropathy. I went to my psychiatrist. I've got at the time I used the information that I had, I got a diagnosis for depression, anxiety, and I can't remember the other one. So depression, anxiety with the first one, secondary to my radiculopathy, and then secondary to my primary condition of lower lumbar strain. So that's what we mean. Hopefully that clarifies it for everybody. When we say lifestyle impact is just a mental health condition secondary to your primary service-connected condition. We started with tinnitus, right? The ringing, the buzzing, the migraines. If you deal with migraines, some of the things that I have, like I have to sit down. Like I have to lay down. I know in the CFR it says prostrating, right, at the higher percentages. That's true. I have to lay down. I put noise canceling headphones on. I put like 2 pillows, and I still can hear my kids screaming because they're fighting over who gets to play, Mario Brothers or whatever, like Connect 4. So it does. It truly is an impact on your lifestyle. And then what you said about the professional side, that's huge as well. When I got off active duty, I worked at a machine shop, and I was the trained OSHA representative, right? I was a safety officer when I was in the Marine Corps, one of my collateral duties. And then when I did the transition, I found a job doing OSHA. And I work with a lot of veterans at the machine shop, not lifting properly. They're angry, they're irritable, they're not sleeping well. They're, the common things, or they're just drinking so much coffee. So people would think that maybe they're just angry. No, we have a legit problem. And if you have a problem that is causing these secondary effects up here, like depression, that is I don't know if that's a word of stigma in your life, in your house, your world, wherever it is. I mean, for us in my home, it's reversed. We talk about it openly. Mental health is just as important as if I go to the gym and lift 225 pounds, which is really funny. I can't lift 225 pounds because of my shoulder. Now, does that make me angry? Yeah, it makes me angry. Like I see other people in the gym and I get a little bit of envy. I'm like, well, I'm a Marine. I should be able to lift a lot of weight and, go out and do crazy things, but I can't go out and do those crazy things anymore. You raise your right hand, you incur the issues when we go out and serve. But then after that, hey, how does it impact your now life? And that's exactly what this is, everybody. And I love that example about the shoulders because I'm dealing with that currently.
Yeah.
And then your back. Let's talk about the back issue. I love the back because it's one of the it's the main portion. Being a personal trainer on this, or used to be, huge. A lot of people don't know how to use it correctly. I don't know how to use my back correctly. I'm still using it improperly. Like I'm bending over, right, to pick something up when I should bend down. Now, why do I say that? Because that back, like if you have kids and you can't play, you can't move. I mean, we go to work, you have to sit in a chair. I mean, whether it's your cervical and your neck, your thoracic and your middle, or your lumbar, which is, I know, a common problem, that's going to create some issues. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm seeing some confusion in the, in the chat about, okay, I think you came in maybe a little bit too late to the conversation when we were kind of talking about actually like lifestyle impact being more of a nickname and not actually filing for it. So yeah, if you're getting confused, you're not alone. This whole process, this whole VA disability process is confusing. It is. I've been there. My husband and I struggled back and forth before we found VACI. It's a lot. What we try and do here at VACI is simplify it. We simplify it. You have a one-on-one coach. We'll talk you through it. We'll look at your e-benefits, see what you got going on. We'll give you the options. We have tons of resources. I mean, our YouTube channel is how I found VA Claims Insider. Tons of free information. But something also is, signing up with us is also free. And so not only that free discovery call, but you can actually be assigned a coach and we can help you get to where you need to be. If we don't help you increase your claim, you don't pay us. And so that's important because you can come talk to us and you don't pay until we help you win. So that's what kind of makes VA Claims Insider a little bit different and sets us apart from other companies, lawyers, all that kind of stuff. But end all be all, you don't have to do this alone. Please utilize the free resources, and the links that we're putting below, because this is confusing. A lot of this is confusing and a lot of it is intimidating. And that's why veterans sometimes wait 20 odd years to really dive into this and get that disability that they deserve. It's intimidating. It's a lot. And that's why Jeff and I do what we do, and really try and go one-on-one with veterans and explain this. So if you're confused, just know that you're not alone. I don't know, Jeff, do you want to add anything on that?
Yeah. No, I know what the gentleman was talking about. So when we say lifestyle impact, we say that at this company. Lifestyle impact, according to the VA, secondary mental health condition to your primary connected condition. Some other issues that you would have, let's talk about GERD, internal stuff, IBS, GERD. How does that affect you? Like, we keep asking you, how does it affect you? Because you, the veteran, are going to provide the evidence. You're the body of evidence. All right. You're going to have a doctor write their paperwork on your body, your mind. And what do I say by that? That if you have something going on, I know I came from a background of quiet, don't speak about it. If you got a problem, handle it yourself. If you need help, find somebody, but do it on your own time, right? That's how I operated growing up. And then you go into the military, it was like, hey man, be quiet, color, just push on, don't go to medical. I'm really glad that I went to medical. Even I was getting, oh my gosh, he's an officer, he's going to medical. Yeah, I did my last medical appointment. I went to my exit appointment, and I'm glad that I did. Because that's where a lot of the evidence came from for when I did my first claim. And so it's really important that even if you're at 25 years, 30 years, or just getting out, or you're helping somebody, I'm telling you, it's important to know that if you have a diagnosis, 0, 10, all the way to 90. Well, if you're at 100%, depends, of course. If you're TDIU, if you're PNT, you're good. I got it. But if you're at like 40% for something, and that 40% or those things that make up the 40% are causing you such an issue, even at 10%, like if you've got 0% hearing loss, The number doesn't matter. What matters is that you have the service-connected disability and that you, the veteran, can talk or can express in your own words how that disability is messing with you or it's hurting you. And that's why we keep saying, hey, talk to us. That's why we want to hear your story. We don't get paid until you get paid, all that stuff. Coach Molly is correct on that. Hey, let's help get you that strategy. I've seen a lot of talking here about increases in the chats and stuff. So that's what it is. All right. It's a mental health claim secondary to the primary condition. Okay. So I just wanted to put that out there, and let's go. We've got some people in the chat before we go back to IBS and GERD.
Yeah, I want to touch quickly
Simpson.
on the diagnosis part. If you're thinking, well, I don't have a diagnosis, how do you get a nexus? Who can write a nexus? We can help you with that as well. We can connect you with those resources. Like Jeff said, we're not doctors. We're not medical professionals. We can't diagnose you, but we can point you in the right direction to those resources that can. And that's another huge benefit of, becoming a part of the VA Claims Insiders. You get all of the resources. You not only get that one-on-one coach, but you also get the resources that come with it. And so, yeah, so if you're like, I don't have a diagnosis, I have no idea, or I haven't been to the doctor in 25 years. First things first, we always say, get your behind to the doctor. Get to the doctor, get yourself checked out. We really want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, both mentally and physically. End all be all, we want to make sure that we have healthy veterans,
No, I completely agree. Thank you for that. Some other things that I know as veterans, what was recent? The Gulf War, right? We have Gulf War syndrome. We have Agent Orange, the presumptive list, or any Agent Orange exposure, excuse me. Anything like IBS and GERD, I know I've got. I didn't serve in the Gulf, but I know, if you want to talk about how does that affect me at work, I mean, if I get up and the IBS is bad that morning, like I'm going to be incapacitated for about 2 hours. About 2 hours. Now, what does that do to me? What does that do to my family? You know what I mean? It takes away from that time that you could be out there cooking breakfast with my family, connecting with the kids, getting them ready for school. And we keep going through these personal examples because that's the nature of the beast. Like you're going to have to, once if you sign up with us, whether you do the 30-minute free consult or you sign up for the elite program, you work with your coach. You'll get that coach, you'll develop that strategy, and they'll help talk you onto target and help get you, tell you, hey, maybe not, right? So we're looking. I've got some guys that are like, I don't want to do the mental health at all because they're afraid of what are some of the common ones? I was a police officer as well for about 5 years, and I was 100% permanent total, and I had a mental health rating. Common, barracks lawyer talk around my reserve unit is you can't become a cop. Well, yeah, you can. Make sure that you're taking you're doing your program, right? You're going to your doctor, taking your medications, everything's good. So I can see why some people have a little bit of a hesitancy as well. At the higher levels, if you're going to like federal law enforcement or air traffic controller, they look at it, but as long as you're on your plan, your medication, you're taking your prescribed medication, you're going to your doctor, all your appointments, then there's no issue. And if that's something you're looking to do in terms of the secondary connection, come talk to us. Absolutely. I'm looking on the chat right now.
Yeah, I saw some questions about, like you said, increases, new claims, appeals. I've kind of seen all the veterans on here are kind of in different, it feels like they're in different parts of this process.
Absolutely.
And so that's important to, bring up too, is you can start working with us at any point in the process. And so, and if we can't help you, if you're at, a certain thing, a certain situation, and we're just like, no, we can't, unfortunately, we can't help you. Doesn't happen often, but we're going to tell you, and we're not going to take any money from you, if we can't help you. We're only, so that's the huge thing. The big takeaway with our program is, you're going to talk to a coach, and if it's not the right fit, it's not the right fit. No hurt feelings, But you never know until you try. So if you're in appeals, if you're in increases, you're in new claims, you have no idea where to start. You've just found out that you actually, can get VA disability, that you do deserve to be compensated for the conditions that happened or were made worse by your military service, because that is the truth. I'll say it louder for those in the back. You served, you deserve. Doesn't matter if you were in combat or not. You served our country, and you deserve to be compensated for any condition that it caused or made worse.
No,
And that's
I
just the
agree.
truth.
No, it's we talk about lifestyle impact. We talk about how it can really affect you. Yeah, you want to. I got not a funny story because it actually kind of did hurt. I talked to you the other day about when I got off active duty. I still love to run, not to the level of Forrest Gump. Of course, he went many years across the country, but I love running. And problem is I didn't know that I had these issues when I got off. I had a cold weather injury, so I had trench foot, frostbite, all that stuff for my feet, and I didn't know the extent. So I did the marathon. It took about 4.5 hours. I crossed the finish line, and I literally collapsed. Not from exhaustion, because I had trained, not because I was going to eat a Carl's Jr. bacon cheddar cheeseburger at the finish line. It's because my feet, I had neuropathy in my feet so bad that I fell, and I don't know, and it was for like a day. I had no idea what happened, and that played a huge. That was actually, it was after that marathon that I was like, I need to go get this taken looked at. The doctor said, yeah, you've got this going on, and I started thinking about how is it affecting me. I was a cop. I'm walking a beat. Can't walk, can't work, can't feed family, family not happy. So when I break it down to the really bare bones of it, it's an important thing to look at, right? So if you are dealing with that, and I really appreciate what Coach Molly said, was the different paths and different parts that you are on in that path with the VA. Please sign up. I'd love to talk to you. Coach Molly would love to talk to you. I know a lot of our other veteran coaches would love to talk to you as well. Spanish speaking coaches. If you need, tú necesitas español, tenemos entrenadores en español para ti. So we have people that can speak Spanish as well and help you get that, try and guide you onto that path of trying to get you that service connection.
There's the link too. Right
So
there.
let's go with, I got right here, Travis Abro. So I have 2 service-connected disabilities. Does this mean that I can file lifestyle impact route secondary to each disability? Yes and no. Here's why. I would say Travis, number one, contact us. We'd love to work with you. We'd love to get you into the program, start talking to you, feel what's your service story, what was your job. So questions that I ask vets all the time, Coach Molly, really simple. Hey, where do you reside? Where do you hail from? And then service, years, job, or were you in a war zone? With just those 4 questions, and then if you know your VA disability percentage, about 75% of the time, everybody has an idea. I don't know the 17 things that I'm connected for, but I know that we have the ability to guide you and tell you where to find that if you don't know it. We will direct you into those resources, right? So to answer Travis's question, I would say work with your coach. But what I would do is if you have tinnitus and you have a shoulder issue, or let's go with even pes planus, right? Ankle strain. If you had a surgery and you had an ACL tear, and those injuries are service connected, right? Go to the doctor. If you want to go to, like, we have Telemedica that works with us, or if you have your own provider, your own personal doctor that you have in, work with them and work with that doctor or Telemedica, like I said, and work with your coach, because there's many paths, one truth. That's your service connection. That's what you want. But the many paths to get there, I mean, it's not everybody's going to follow the same template, and that's why each and every veteran's story is so different. So if you have 2 or 3 disabilities, I mean, for me it was, hey, I've got these 3 things, or his depression is secondary to these 2 things, and the VA connected all of them together. So without specific information, Travis, I can tell you that get with your coach, develop that strategy. But with information that you just gave me, I would say, hey, mental health secondary to your service connected conditions, because those things in totality can create a storm that can knock you on your butt. I know it happens to
Yep.
me more often than not. So thank you.
Yeah. Everything's
Um,
connected,
all right.
not just mind, body, but the entire body. So, if you're dealing with a back, there's gonna be other conditions that are gonna connect to it, or if you're dealing with if you have a right hip injury, you're probably gonna compensate with your left hip. It's gonna change your gait. Everything is connected.
Mhm. I like this. Christopher, you put it out there for us to read. My wife told me to quit my job. My neuropathy was so bad. Brother, I'm going to thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. I mean, your neuropathy, if it's bad, take care of yourself. Absolutely. I was a nurse at the VA, cannot wear my shoes anymore. Hour at max, and I have to take them off. I'm on gabapentin and doing acupuncture. Still not any help. So if you have neuropathy, or I'm saying if you're not Christopher, but if since you are Christopher and you have the issue of neuropathy, I think what you just wrote there, and I'm reading it as a veteran and as a person saying I have neuropathy. I know for a fact if I can't work because I have to keep my shoes off to keep my body sane and at a 0% level of pain, you may be a good candidate for a mental or lifestyle impact or mental health secondary to your neuropathy. If you're with us, Chris, welcome. Talk to your coach. If not, you can use one of those links like we've showed you. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing. And everybody else, yes, that Kenny, that's what it is. It is a secondary condition. So you're doing secondary mental health condition to your primary service connected condition. For example, Kenny asked, is it a lifestyle impact? I was just clarifying again. Um, my back, I'm rated for 20% for my back. I have radiculopathy sciatica all coupled together. Then that causes the 70% depression. Or you may have, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's whatever the doctor decides it is, right? Because a doctor, you can say, "Hey, I've got depression," but then the doctor can come out and say, "Hey, you've got anxiety attacks," and that's your only it's your only symptoms that you're exhibiting. We're not doctors, but what we can tell you is that the doctor, they'll have that information. They'll make the diagnosis. You speak to them about your symptoms, work with your coach, talk it through, and say, "Hey, this thing is causing this," right? Because there's the 31 mental health symptoms of mental health. You can have PTSD, you can have symptoms of another. They all, according to I think it's called the DSM-5, I'm not getting into that, but they have overlapping. So we as coaches cannot speak to you on that. Donnie, yes, actually, I wanted to. That's actually been a really good topic. I'm still reading into it. Donnie D. Green Sr. says Department of VA is proposing changes to the scheduler of ratings, specifically respiratory, auditory, and mental disorders. Yes, that is true. I saw the information yesterday. I'm still reading through it. If each of the veterans here are dialed into the VA website and they give you those emails that give you the information, please read it. I know I personally I'm working through it myself. So it's gonna because that's for me and my clients. I have to make sure that I know that. So thank you for bringing that up. It's that self-initiative study that you're going to have to do. And I know Coach Molly's already read it, probably even outlined it, didn't you? But
You know me too well. But the key word is proposed there.
Absolutely.
It's not set in stone yet, and who knows if it will be. The VA is a huge machine. There's a lot that needs to happen for something like that to be pushed through and to be actually written in. So it is a proposal at the end of the day, and so we'll just kind of hurry up and wait, which I know a lot of you are familiar with. And we'll just have to kind of see it span out. It was a while back, but since we're talking about mental health, I saw a question about, how is lifestyle impact claim rated? Being a mental health condition, secondary condition, it's going to have the same rating as mental health. So that's, that's going to be 0% service connected, 10%, 30, 50, 70, even 100. That's why we call it a high value claim, is because you could get 170 to 100% off of that lifestyle impact, that secondary mental health claim. And that's why, you can bring that 10% tinnitus. And if you go at it secondary with a lifestyle impact claim, technically your tinnitus 10% could get you to 100% or get you to 90% or, whatever it might be. And that's where that silly VA math comes in, which we can try our best to explain that to you too, because that, I don't like math, but VA math is a whole different story as well. So if you're confused on that, you're also not alone. But we can definitely help you out there in our one-on-one. But yeah, I hope that answers the kind of the how the mental health is rated, how the lifestyle impact claim is rated, the same as mental health.
All right. No, I appreciate that. It is mental health. It is a mental health claim. It is a mental health. We're going to go ahead, and I think it's a good time to kind of wrap it up, take some extra questions. I will say this, it is a mental health claim, secondary mental health to your primary service condition. Say it one more time. It is mental health, secondary to the primary condition. Get with the coach. It is random. I think somebody asked in here, hey, how do you get a coach? It is random. If you want a specific coach, when you sign up, you should be able to, I don't know if you can call or request. I have to look into that. And Brett said, I want, because there is some anxiety about this, the proposal can't change a rating that you already have, can it? From the reading that I have read, I don't know a lot of it, but the reading that I have done, it says that if you're in the system now and your percentage, it's good. It's for everything after. But don't hold that to me. I have to do more research. Like the old adage, I don't have the answer, but I will find you one. If you don't have it, you got to find it. Let's go with, all right. We've already done a lot of the plug. Hey, you guys, if you want to coach, elite membership. If you're kind of like, I don't know, maybe do the 30-minute. Talk with one of our dudes or dudettes. They'll talk you onto target, no problem. I will say that I'm glad that I did my mental health claim. Changed my life. Game changer. Remember, you do need a current diagnosis. You need the nexus. If we can help you with that, we'll guide you onto target. Maybe you might need to go to Telemedica. You can use one of your own private doctors, providers. We'll guide you and do the best thing that we can, okay, to help get you there. But that's all I have. Do you want to just open it up to questions, Coach Molly?
Yeah, definitely. Right. Yeah, we've got a lot of them. So let's
1, 2, 3. Not it for the first one. You go ahead for the first one.
All right, let me scroll through and get a common ground one.
Here's one right here by LeBrent. Semper Fi, do or die, motivated. I appreciate that. It says I'm 10% and 70% PTSD and just got a denial letter for PTSD increase. Wouldn't claiming lifestyle. So lifestyle impact, when you go onto va.gov and you go to file a disability claim online, the online version of the 526 EZ, hey, lifestyle is mental health. Okay, I'm going to say that one more time. Lifestyle impact, that's our name for the VA's mental health claim. So if you're at 70% PTSD and you're trying to get an increase on that, you had a denial letter, what I will tell you is you already have the diagnosis, you already have the service connection. If you're trying to increase it, what do you need? I would say if you have a coach or if you want to have a coach, discuss that with them, because I would love to, everybody, I would love to say, hey, these are the things that you need. But like we've got, it's only an hour. I get to talk with Molly for an hour and get to interact with you guys. We need a little bit more time. So, hey, get a coach, start developing that strategy, that game plan. I like calling it, in addition to my fire plan, being an artillery guy. So, hey, yes. And yes, you're correct. You can only have one mental health, LeBrent. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Let's go with, here's one. Chris Pope. I just got PTSD. How do I keep my rating? So that's I don't know. If you have PTSD and you're looking to get service connected, or are you service connected and looking to maintain that rating? That question, I don't have any information on that. I would say, hey, if you just got PTSD and you need a nexus, you need that connection, sign up with us. We'll work with you, see if you actually need it, go to Telemedico, or if you have a doctor. Like, it's the same things I keep saying, because it is a process. There are things in the process that are the same, which is awesome. However, each story is different. So good job on the getting of the PTSD in terms of getting it looked at. I wish you the best in your care. Okay, Mr. Pope, absolutely.
Yeah. One common question that I see is somatic symptom disorder. So, and just general questions like, what about somatic symptom disorder? That can definitely fall under this lifestyle impact umbrella. But the important thing to remember about somatic symptom disorder is that is an actual diagnosis. So you will need that diagnosis of somatic symptom disorder to then connect it secondary. But yes, it technically could be under that umbrella. But that is the chronic pain aspect of a mental health.
Okay.
Good question.
Hey, everybody. I'm going to do this real quick. I want to get more attention to the questions. Check us out. Check us out. We've already given you guys the links. We provide it. We're going to continue to provide it until the time is up, because we have 8 mics. It's going to be professional. We'll say 8 Michaels. You got the 30-minute free call, right? Get that going. If you want it, now's the time. Now's the time. Let's also look at, if you're like, you know what, I want it. This is the program for me. I want to get into this program. I want to have access to the Elite Experience portal. Absolutely. Why wouldn't I? Go ahead and take the sign up for the Elite membership. You can also find us at VAClaimsinsider.com. Absolutely. Go on to YouTube. If you guys are still a huge fan of YouTube, some people say it's old. I think it's actually new, because I use it every day for my abdominal exercises. So please go on there and check it out. Instagram, I have an account, but I don't use it. But I know a lot of people use it. Keep on doing it. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and yes, even TikTok. And of course, that discovery call, like we told you guys. I will say that I appreciate you, Molly. Appreciate your support for your I was going to say squid. That's not polite. I was going to say your husband, your Navy veteran. I'm a jarhead. I take that jarhead as a moniker of, that's me. I love the name. It's not a bad name for me. So I just want to say thank you for your passion. You have great passion, great energy, and you have an amazing personality for this job. Tenacious. So I thank you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate you as well. You've got so much knowledge. I think, and to give you a little insight, Jeff and I are on like an internal team within the company. And that's also the great thing about VA Claims Insider is you're not just getting one coach. You are entering into a massive community. So if your coach, if it's kind of a weird situation and that coach doesn't have the answer, guess what? They have a million people that they can ask. And then they're going to find it. Either they're going to do their research. They're going to go to a senior level coach and ask someone that's been doing this a while. Someone that knows the laws better than you. We're not above asking for help. And that's the really cool thing about this company is that you don't just get one coach, you get an entire team. We also have classes in the morning. It opens you up for Zoom-led classes.
Yep.
We have coffee with the coaches every morning, and those same regular veterans come in, and that's where you feel the community in this company is within those Zoom classes. Those, those we call them client-facing classes, where you actually get to see your coach, where you actually get to see other veterans and interact with them. And especially with COVID and everything, it's a really nice option to socialize with your fellow veterans and fellow team members. So that's really cool. That's probably one of my favorite things about this company is that community that you feel in those classes and that interaction that you get. It's not just, hey, I'm going to call Molly and we're going to talk for 20 minutes and then that's it. It is a one-on-one, but then it's also even bigger than that too.
Yeah, you're joining a family. I
Yeah.
mean, in a sense, right? Because it is the online. I know we have 5 minutes left. I'm going to answer some really quick comments. Brett, you worked with us before. Get in touch with us again. You'll be assigned a coach that you did have, or you want a new coach. You can do that. But yeah, go ahead and reach out to us. Um, and to keep going for, if it's lifestyle, it's depression or mental health. So when you do it, I would say, no, Dennis, I'm sorry, Dennis and Fred, you guys are having the issues that you're having. Sign up with us, talk to your coach, figure out the next steps that you need. You may already have a diagnosis way back in your records. We don't know. Or you have a current diagnosis. Those are the individualized stories that you provide, that anecdotal evidence that you provide to your coach. And it's huge. Like, we go to Fred Hawkins. He says, when I file a VA rate, to say, hey, we're going to give you 0%. Quite honestly, I got 0% on 3 things, and I got not service connected for my knees, patellofemoral syndrome. And that was the main reason I went to the VA, was for my knees. But the problem is they didn't service connect them. So if that is you, if you're having one of these nuanced issues with the VA, if you're looking for an increase, if you're looking to do the lifestyle impact, that we call it lifestyle, but it's also depression secondary to mental health condition. We'll say,
Or
I'll keep saying
anxiety.
that. And I keep saying depression, but it's anxiety. It could be one of how many symptoms that you have, and that if that's the main one, that's the main one. I get panic attacks still a couple times a week, but I know how to manage them because somebody else had a question in here about, hey, that's what it was. I got a PTSD rating, or I just got diagnosed with PTSD, or they just rated me 70%. How do I keep it? Well, here's the thing. For me, and I know when I'm 100% permanent total. The VA says if they're going to keep you at that rating, if it's the same and it's gotten worse. For me, my stuff is getting worse, but it's not as a crazier rate if I wasn't attending to those health issues. So with my depression, I go once every 2 weeks to a doctor to sit, talk about it. And then I also tell them, yeah, man, my back is still hurting. The medicine that my other doctor gave me, it's not working because everything is intertwined. That's what we mean by lifestyle impact. How does that 1 or 2, 3, like the gentleman Travis said earlier, hey, I got these 2 things. Am I a good candidate, or can I use both things to? Yeah, you can, or it could just be one. It's whatever the strategy that you develop with your coach. So great questions. All right, Eric, you want to take that one, Molly? I think that could be one of our last ones.
Yeah. So if you're unsure about what you need to file for, we can help you. It's going to be, it's without knowing everything, it's a strategy, definitely a strategy going forward.
Absolutely.
Yes, we
Yeah.
absolutely look at everything. We look at your e-benefits breakdown. We look at what you've been denied for. We look at what you're service connected for, the percentages. It all goes into that strategy building. And that's why, a lot of the times we can't answer the questions like, I have this percentage and this percentage. It's only given us a snapshot. So really to get that full picture and that full strategy, definitely get connected with us. Our links are in the chat. If we didn't answer your question, we apologize. They were going like crazy, but they will be answered. So definitely check back in. They will be answered by a team member of ours. But yeah, you guys are thanking us. Thank you for tuning in, taking time out of your day. I wish you all luck, and I hope to hear from you guys soon. One big takeaway, you served, you deserve. I will say that again and again and again. Please know that if you served our country, you deserve to be compensated for anything that happened within service.
All I've got to say is thank you, Motivated and Semper Fi. Thank you, Coach Molly. You guys have the tools and the resources. Now let's go ahead and enact those tools and resources and get you to where you need to be. Have a great afternoon.
Absolutely. Bye, everyone.